Just had a chat with one of my subscribers who was doing really well, plugging away slowly at a prop trader challenge. And he was making around between 1% and 2% a week. Then started to get a little bit carried away, started to get a bit greedy, decided to up the size. In other words, try to rush to complete the challenge, which I'm sure is something that most people do when they get to this stage. They start to get overconfident and think, I want to rush this along because I want to get to the stage where I'm actually getting paid. And this is where things start to go wrong. If you've got a strategy that's doing quite well, especially if you're making between 1% and 2% a week, which, by the way, may not sound like a lot of money, but let's say you're making 1.5% per week on average. That is 6% per month. Where else can you get a 6% return per month? Especially doing something where you're probably not working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You could just be working 3 hours a day. You only need to do 2 or 3 trades. If you're making 6% a month, I'm not sure what that is compounded, but let's say it's 100% per year. That is a ridiculously huge amount of money. It's a huge return. Where are you going to get 100% return on your money? Whether you're a swing trader or a scalper, that's a fantastic return. If you're trying to get more than that, really you're just being greedy. You're probably taking too much risk. You're opening yourself up to big losses on the downside. If you're able to make those kind of consistent returns without stressing yourself out too much, without working too hard, without suffering big losses, without having that emotional roller coaster, you have to be happy with around 1% to 2% a week. Now, you can scale it and you can start to take more risk, but don't do that too soon. You will know when you're feeling really confident, when you've had a really good run, when you're consistent, when you know you can trust yourself. You just feel confident, not overconfident, not getting to the stage where you think you've mastered trading and that's it. You're on your way to millions. Where you've got a calmness and you can trust yourself and you think, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm not going to suffer big losses. I know I've got everything under control. I can be consistent. And I know that this time next week, I'll probably have made 1.5%. I know at the end of the month, I will probably have made about 6%. When you feel like this, that's when you're probably ready to start scaling, but take it slowly. Because the thing is, if you scale up too quickly and then things start to go wrong, your emotions start to take control of your trading because the sums of money are bigger than you feel comfortable with, you're going to suffer such a big setback that you're going to then struggle to get to where you were before you scaled up. It's just not worth rushing the process. Be aware of what's going on in your head. Be aware of your emotions. And if you think you're getting a little bit out of control, you're losing your discipline, you're starting to maybe gamble a little bit, and the numbers are just too big for you to be comfortable, scale it back quickly. Be aware. And the other thing you need to be aware of is, am I suffering from FOMO? Am I maybe over trading a little bit? I'm feeling like I need to be in a position just because the market is moving. Or am I starting to get into revenge trading? The market owes me. This is not my fault. I shouldn't have lost that money. Trading from anger instead of a place where you're focused and disciplined. If you feel those emotions overtaking you, you have to have a process to say, okay, wait a second. I know that I'm starting to lose control here. I need to stop. I need to take a break. I need to calm down. Maybe you need to read through your trading journal. You need to reevaluate your entry strategy, something that takes you away from that negative mindset. I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm really trying to cover all aspects of trading, from technical analysis, trade management, risk management, account management, trading psychology, FOMO, revenge trading, in all of these videos. If you're finding them useful, please like, share, and subscribe. And do leave your comments. Let me know of ways that you're finding to combat these negative aspects of trading.